everybody. Welcome
Hi.
to another episode of What You Got. I'm here with my amazing team, and today we're going to talk about International Women's Day. And by the way, happy International Women's Day to all the amazing women out there. We definitely have a lot of role models and women that have truly paved the path for us to be where we're at right now. And happy International Women's Day to everyone out there today.
Back at you, Mimi.
Same.
So today we're just going to talk about women. We're just going to talk about, International Women's Day is a global day celebrating the social, economical, cultural, and political achievements of women. And the day also marks a call to action for women equality in the workplace and just in general all over, having more women representation in every aspect of our lives and being more involved. And then, of course, women supporting women, which I think our team exemplifies that a lot. So I'm originally from Macedonia, and back home, actually, March 8th is a huge holiday. Women go out, they celebrate, they buy each other presents. We get presents and poems from our kids. So it's a huge, I must say, in the US, it's not celebrated as much as it is all over Europe. Also, we're in real estate. So for me, being able to own our own business and making that transfer and being able to lead all of you guys, and it's been quite the transformation. I don't think I would say I've had a lot of challenges. I think if I was back home, though, I grew up in a very in a community where there you marry young and then you have children, and women are primarily the ones who stay at home and they take care of the family. And I think that has changed a lot since 15, 16 years ago, since I lived back home. And I'm very grateful for the opportunities I've had here in the US to be able to, have multiple businesses and participate in society and bring more to the table for our family. How do you ladies identify yourselves as business owners? We're all business owners. We all have families. We all have children. Tell me more about your stories. Ashley?
Okay. I'll go first. So for those not familiar with me or tuning in for the first time, I'm Ashley Tullis. I'm a real estate agent. I live out in Dripping Springs. I'm a 6th generation Texan, and I went to college at Texas State. When I graduated, I had 2 degrees, one in geography, one in political science, and I started working in environmental consulting and then oil and gas. And I experienced a good old boys club very quickly right out of college. And after the birth of my son back in 2011, I didn't want to be involved with a good old boys club anymore. So I was experiencing firsthand the gender inequality with the salary gap. My peers that happened to be male were making a lot more money than me. So I left that industry and I started working in the real estate industry through my photography business, and I was helping other agents market their property. And I decided about almost 5 years ago that I wanted to go ahead and get my real estate license and start helping people buy and sell houses, because something I'm very, very passionate about is being a part of people's really big milestones. I absolutely love it. It's something that I would be a part of if I could support myself, like for free. I really, really enjoy that part of it and dealing with people. My favorite thing about being a real estate agent and owning my own business is there's no more competition. I can't look at my male colleague and say, you make more money than me just because you're a man. That doesn't exist. Like, there's no ceiling for me. I'm not bumping into that at all. All I have to do is get out there and hustle, and it's solely my hustle. So I really appreciate being a woman led real estate team with you ladies, because we truly do cheer each other on. You absolutely hit the nail on the head. We exemplify that, and I'm so grateful for that. But my favorite thing about this industry is it's what we each make of it, not what somebody else has already made of it. We don't have to play someone else's game. We get to make up our own game. And that's what I love most about being a real estate agent.
Absolutely. We're 100% in control on how we show up for our families, how we show up for our clients in our communities. And Ashley, I'm so proud of you on how involved you are in your community and everything you do. I think people are not truly aware of how giving and how amazing you are in your Dripping Spring community. And I'm really, really proud of you for that.
I definitely appreciate that. And I think what we're peeling back the onion on is, man, isn't that like a woman in a nutshell? Nobody really sees all the things that we're up to. You know, we're trying to be the best at our job, the best at being a mom, the best at being a spouse, you know, the best at being a giver, the best at volunteering. Where is the crown? Because we wear too many hats. Like, where's the damn crown? So we're holding up a lot. And I know how hard I work, but, you know, that's only matched by each one of you ladies here today. You guys are off and running and doing your own thing. Like, I don't know how many houses Kelly's moved in the last week, but I bet it's a lot. I don't know how many doors Gina's opened for her clients and hours spent away from her 2 kids and husband, but I bet it's a lot. I can't even keep up with your schedule. Like, you do too much to even like guess at what you're up to. Like, you hustle and go 24/7 for your clients, for your family, for everybody you encounter.
Absolutely. Kelly, tell me, how do you feel being in this space right now, owning your own business? And again, you're amazing at what you do, and we're so proud of you. Tell us more.
Well, it's pretty exciting to be my own boss. So unlike Ashley, I didn't necessarily have that experience of working in a world where like men were making more money. I was a teacher a long time ago, so lots of females in that profession also. But just again, like she said, the control, like we're the ones who decide how much we're making. Mm-hmm. We're the ones who set that ceiling and that limit, and you know, having that is amazing. It's indescribable. I can't even to just think. And you know, they just put a sign up at my warehouse with my name on it, and that's pretty exciting. Every time I pull in, I'm like, "There's my sign."
Oh,
I'm like,
awesome.
"Can you see my name on that sign?" Like that's so. It's amazing, and I'm so excited to be in business with you guys and a part of it, and just again, you know, with such hardworking people. Women.
Kelly, you don't own just one business, friend. Like, you always overlook that. Don't sell yourself short. You own multiple businesses.
Just a couple.
We need to get her another sign, obviously.
Yeah.
One. I'm excited about one. I'm good.
Okay.
And Gina, you're the youngest of all of us, and mm-hmm. I feel like you amaze me, your attitude, and you're always show up happy. You're always willing, like somebody needs something. Regina is always there. Like, I was blown away. During the winter storm, you called all of us and said, who has firewood? I need to deliver firewood to our elderly neighbors. I mean, every single time you go above and beyond for everybody. And tell us more, Gina. How does it feel to be in this industry?
So I feel like hearing all of these stories about really, really amazing women. And I think being with Keller Williams and in this industry, I think we're always driven by like our purpose, our why, right? And for me, I mean, obviously, along with family, my husband and my kids, those are my why. But for me, my number one reason has always been my mom. And she has, a lot of people have been rooting for her, and a lot of y'all know her and have met her before. But for those who haven't, she is a really, really amazing woman. And she has, her whole purpose in life really was to better the lives of other people. She has sacrificed almost her entire life, her happiness, her comfort, her home, to come to the United States and make a better life for her children that she lives back in the Philippines and for myself here in the States. So I feel so lucky and privileged to be where I'm at today. And so for me, I take that as a big compliment, Mimi. And I always try to be, I always try to keep that as my drive and keep that top of mind that I feel really privileged to be where I'm at and have my mom and be here in the States. So I feel really lucky to have her kind of as my role model and to keep me driving. The first person that came to mind was of course you ladies, but my mom, and she's just my biggest driver. So I feel very lucky.
And Gina, you guys had a setback recently. Y'all had a big day plan and it didn't quite go according to plan. Would you mind sharing that and then share her response?
So my mom, I've been very open about it on Facebook. My mom is like very loved back at home, but she is not tech savvy. So I've been sharing everything on Facebook to kind of share with our friends and our family. And she has been on a very long journey to get back to the Philippines. She has not been back in over 30 years. She left 3 of her children, 2 sons, 2 boys and 1 girl back in the Philippines. And the youngest was 6 years old when she left them. And she has not been back for a very long time. And there was a lot of personal issues that stopped her from getting her citizenship. And this year, or actually last year of 2020, my mom finally took her interview test, passed it. And, unfortunately with COVID, it was a year-long delay, but we finally got the letter for her oath swearing. And it was after the winter storm. My mom called me the day before on a Tuesday, said that she got her letter. It's tomorrow. Can you come pick me up from Corpus? I said, sure. So I left at 4:30, picked her up in Corpus, drove to San Antonio. And there was a big sign on the door that said, we're closed. I'm sorry, but due to the winter storm, electric's out. And we didn't have the right way to inform y'all other than this piece of paper. But, again, my mom is the perfect example of strength. Literally, she kind of just laughed it off and said, well, I've been waiting literally like 30 years. What's another 2 to 3 months going to do to me? So she is almost there though. So she's really happy.
Attitude. And I must say, I think a lot of successful women are given the highlight through social media and everything about everything that they have achieved. But I must say, credit and all the glory needs to be given to people like your mom, right? Mm-hmm. Who are every day striving to support everybody else, and just who provide, and they're a provider and they're always there no matter what, and they're just so strong.
I know.
So let me ask you, what's the best piece of advice that you have given or you have been given from somebody, from another woman? If you look back at your life, what's the best piece of advice that you have carried with you that another woman has given to you?
So not directly, but something I carry with me pretty often is a quote by Maya Angelou. People will forget what you say, but they'll never forget the way you made them feel. And so leaving a long-lasting feeling after I encounter anyone of, man, I really liked being around her. Like I strive to treat others as I want to be treated. And as we can clearly see, even on this live right now, like a really strong personality, sometimes to a fault. So I can sometimes be a little overbearing. So I try to keep that in mind, just how do other people want to be treated? Well, the same way I would want to be treated, because they'll never forget how you make them feel.
Yeah, I love that.
It's a really good one, Ashley. Kelly, how about you?
I would say, like, to just do it, like to start your own business, or to start it, or to, start your family. Like, there's never a fantastic time. So, like, just go ahead and do it.
Gina, how about you?
Now, this is hilarious because I was going to use an author. I was going to say Glennon Doyle, but truly, I think my favorite quote, I don't know if it was a woman or a man that said it, but it's from Bold. It's the live life by design, right? And I know it's such, I know Kelly's laughing. I know it's such a cheesy statement, but and now I have my husband Dustin saying it all the time, right? Because we truly came from nothing. And I think we, both of us came to like a crossroads in our life where we could have went one way or we could have went the other, right? We could have stayed in our comfort zone, or we could have moved to Austin and started something and left everything behind, all of our comfort, family, and all of that. So I think for me, the number one quote that and mantra we kind of go by is truly live life by design. And for those that haven't heard it, they teach us that in Bold, which is this amazing Keller Williams training program. And I think before, when I first heard it, I kind of laughed about it, but now it really resonates with me, because I think it's all about choices, right? And like, which route or which path do you want to take? So I think whenever me and Dustin come to like a crossroads or, a hard day or whatever, it's always like that mantra that really resonates with us. So
that's amazing. Oh, absolutely, Gina. And I must say, like, we have such supporting significant others that, they're always there. I feel like we're always encouraged to do whatever we set our minds to. And I think, as Ashley said, we're very strong-headed and we just go for it. And we never. I read a book, "Believe It" by
Jamie.
Jamie Lima, and something she said about, she's been given opportunities to be in boardrooms when other women would not be there. And for me, that was, and she said, always ask for a plus one. If you can bring another woman alongside with you that doesn't really have the opportunity as she did, and just give her that a glimpse of what it means to be successful, or being surrounded by people that necessarily they wouldn't be surrounded by. And I think for me, that's really, really, really powerful. And I am the biggest advocate for women. Like, I really. So for me, it's like always bring other women along and cheer each other.
And if y'all wondered what kind of security Mimi's walking around with, you just heard it. I love that. I love that plus one idea. I love that idea of once you've found a way to kind of make space and have a seat at the table, of pulling somebody else to come to that same table as well. I really, really, really like that idea. I hadn't heard that before. That's on my to read list. So I'm looking forward to digging into what she has to say.
Absolutely. And then I know, we're in a place. Sorry.
No, he's just a good boy.
We're in a place right now, right, where I always look back. I don't know if you ladies reflect, like, where were you and who were you 5 years ago? Where were you and who were you 10 years ago? And I always think of myself, gosh, when I came to the US for the first time, if I only knew, right, the opportunities that I would have, and that I'm here right now. Like, I would have, if somebody told me that I will be where I am right now, I would have never believed it. And of course, it comes along with a lot of hard work and working on myself first. But one last question: what is something you would tell your younger self? Like
Oh
whatever.
my God.
that-
That's a hard one.
I know.
Well, I'll go first.
Oh, perfect.
Okay, go. What?
Ashley.
Yeah, just change my name to Ashley is always willing to go first. Tell us. So I actually just spent this last weekend going through a Christian women's conference, and that was a question that kind of popped up. So that's why I'm able to go first, is because I just already thought about this, like, who did God design me to be? And a little bit of my story is I was saved in 2019. I'm a baby Christian. I'm a newer, like, true believer. Like, God's no longer on the back burner in my life. And some of the things that I would tell myself would actually kind of play around my self-esteem. For a lot of years, I've carried a lot of weight of what other people thought and a lot of baggage, and shedding other people's opinion of myself would be the biggest piece of advice I would give my younger self. It wasn't said by the person I heard it from. It's much older than that, but someone else's opinion of me is none of my business. Mm-hmm. And leaning into, okay, they like me or they don't, it doesn't matter. It's none of my business. So that's what I would tell myself. Just shed that. In the real estate industry, though, we're constantly competing, right? We're out there competing against our colleagues for business. So someone's opinion of us not only matters up here, but it matters here in the wallet, right? We want to win. We want to get that business. We want everybody we come across to love us. And but at the end of the day, their opinion of me is none of my business. So I need to bring to the table my worth and my profession. And sometimes I'm the right fit and sometimes I'm not the right fit. And that's okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I love this, Ashley.
Yeah, that's a tough one. And to let it go when you're young, I mean, especially now with social media and all of that.
Yeah, it is. It is. Another thing that I lean into is an analogy about flowers. When flowers are in bloom in a garden, one flower is not concerned about what the other flower looks like. Like, nobody cares. They're just there to bloom. So just do your best, shine your best. The flower next to you isn't going to make you an ugly flower or a pretty flower. That's not how that works. The garden is beautiful as a whole, not because of one single bloom.
Absolutely.
Dang, that's good.
Glad you went first.
Beat that.
I know.
I'll just answer for all of y'all.
You're up next.
I'll go. For me, I had this about 2 years ago where, as you said, Ashley, in the real estate industry, there's so many successful people, and you're like, what's the secret, right? I want to be like them. I want to be successful. I want to run a big business. And you kind of always compare yourself to that other person. And for me, about 2 years ago, was like, I decided that I'm not going to compare myself to anybody, and I will show up in my space as my authentic Mimi Bond and nobody else. So I'm not going to, and I stopped watching and looking and scrolling through Facebook or Instagram and seeing what other realtors were doing or what other people were doing, and owning who I am and how I show up for my family, for my clients, and for everybody else. And for me, that has been truly amazing, not to compare myself with anybody. And I always compete against myself. So how can I become better, and how can I improve and be a better wife and a better mother and a better leader for you guys, and just overall for everybody. So that's my big why. One.
That's a good one.
Kelly and Gina.
All right, I'll go. So I think it's that, like, you don't have to have it all figured out, leaving college, leaving high school, that, like, you don't necessarily know what you want to be when you grow up. And that, all of us,
Are we grown up?
I think, right? I mean, you don't know, so I think, like, you know, there's this big pressure to pick a major, to pick a college, to pick whatever, you know, graduating. Like I have a graduating senior from high school and a graduating senior from college right now who are both like, it's like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do when you're done? Like they're not even getting to enjoy the end of that because it's like, keep going, plan what you're going to do next. And that just like things can fall into place. Like, especially if you're working hard and doing what you love is most important.
There's we're fans of that sitcom show, The Office, in our house, and there's this like little scene with Andy Bernard where he says, "Do you ever wish you know you were in the best times of your life while you were in them, like not after the fact?" And I think that like really speaks to like, man, my 20s were amazing. I didn't know they were amazing until they were over, right?
Yeah.
Like, dang it. I wish I had known they were going to be so great and that they were great. So for your graduating seniors, like, oh, I hope they have that perspective of like, they are really coming into like some of the best times of their life.
Kelly, I will add to what you just said. I think it's never too late to reinvent yourself.
No,
it's never
Oh,
too late
yeah.
to try something different. It's never too late to become something else, right?
Absolutely.
So, I mean, I spent 10 years at the Hyatt, and then I was like, well, I guess it's real estate investing and then becoming a realtor. And for me now, it's like, what's next? What else can I become? Who else can I become? And I think that's so amazing. And you're right, Kelly, like you're going through it with your kids. And all of these young people out there are under such pressure. Well, you need to have some life experiences to kind of figure out where you want to be and where you need to go. So that's a great advice. Just take your time. Tina, what do you think?
I kind of lean into like what you and Kelly were saying, right? When I was younger, I think those were my biggest pressures is I felt like a lot of my friends had a lot more guidance than I did, right? My mom didn't really apply any pressure for me to go to college or choose a certain career. She was just like, okay, trying to get me through high school. So I would probably just say that, I guess just like for me, I think it was like slow your roll. I think I was too quick in trying to grow up and trying to I think that was it. I was just too much in a hurry. I never really enjoyed myself in high school. I just remember always trying to be one step ahead, and I never was really in the present, just like you guys were all saying. So I think for me, if I could talk to my 15, 16-year-old Regina self, I would tell her to slow your roll because you're going to grow up and everyone's going to get to experience that thing. But that would probably be my one thing. Just slow down, girl.
But when we're talking about real estate agents, Gina, you are always one step ahead for your clients. You're creative and innovative. Gina is our buyer specialist on the team, and it is brutal out there for you buyers agents. So I don't know a lot of people that hustle harder than you do for your clients.
Oh, likewise, Ash. I appreciate that.
Well, ladies, I mean, I truly feel honored, today to be surrounded by you every single day. We're always just a phone call and a text away, and we support each other in a way that I don't think we see a lot of that out there. And my message would be to support more women. If another woman is successful, that doesn't mean that they're taking away from us, but we just need to honor it and cheer and root for each other and make sure that there's equality across the board. So, and I think with this, we're gonna wrap up. We are sharing a month of female concentrated content, including 4 giveaways. We're going to be giving away the Believe It book, and then we have a couple of other ones. So stay tuned on our social media channels. If you need support, if you feel if you're in transition or anything, you can reach out to any of us. We love rooting for other women, and we're always here as a resource. So have a
Could
great
I plug
evening.
my week-long series that I'm doing this week? Would that be okay?
Yes. Yes.
So that series was an inspiration from collaborating with you ladies and, you know, realizing Women's History Month was coming up, that today would be International Women's Day. So I sought out small businesses that have blossomed and grown right here in Dripping Springs. Not only are these women-owned businesses, these are ethical women-owned businesses, and the majority of them, through their products and goods and services, are supporting impoverished women across the world. And hearing their stories, just like, it really humbles me to hear the impact that they're making. So I would really encourage anybody to check those out through our social media channels. And if you're looking for women to support, I couldn't speak any higher than these 5 ladies that are being highlighted this week.
Oh, I can't wait to watch that.
I haven't watched it actually yet, but I cannot wait, and it sounds like it's a really good one. So
it is. I mean, these stories are like, whoa. Whoa. And we know how full we keep our plates, but all of these business owners are humbling me. Like, I need to take on more. I need to do more. What an impact, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. Well, we're signing off. I hope you guys have a great evening, and stay tuned. Tune in on Monday again at 4 p.m. We'll be here, and have a great afternoon. Bye.
Bye.